Hi, I'm Troy Hicks, the editor of Real Invest 2.0. We're here in Chicago for the Realcomm 2009 conference, the intersection of technology and commercial real estate. This week there's been a lot of great sessions, some new innovations, and some amazing new green technologies. Let's go have a look around.
I think from an economy standpoint, from a business standpoint, from a commercial real estate standpoint, all the things that we've been doing for the last 5, 10, 15 years aren't working anymore. The excess capital, the poor judgment used in buying some of these assets, the speculative assumptions that were made, they don't work anymore. The machine is slowed. In fact, it's almost stopped. So we figured we better reboot. And our topic is about technology, automation, innovation, looking at a building, looking how it's run, taking 10 steps, turning it into 3. And that's a radical concept to some real estate owners, believe it or not. So we're asking them to reboot. Throw all of your assumptions away, come to Realcomm, our 11th year, and see what we're talking about.
I think what's refreshing is it's not all about distressed real estate. It's about the industry at large. And it's pretty interesting to see how the green innovations have come about in the last year and a half or so.
A lot of people couldn't attend, but I think that the people that are here are very serious. It's somewhat like kind of proving out that there is still a need and a demand and a very strong interest to embrace technology to make our operations better, because right now people really need to. So it's the timing is perfect.
Would love to say that the economy is turning around and everything is heading for the clouds. Smiles all around. That's not my prognosis, though. We're in for still a tough time. And it's really the time when people need to evaluate their systems, need to hunker down and be able to look at things like the true value of their portfolio and where they can manage costs and take costs out of the equation.
I think there's always a core of organizations that are going to focus on technology as a way of improving their bottom line. Instead of doing deals to make revenue, they're now needing to look at how they control costs, how they control process. So that's where the technology comes into play. So if their businesses are secure in other areas, there will be a core that still spend on technology.
Everyone's going to be focused on ROI, on increasing efficiency, and a software solution will allow you to do that. It'll allow you to keep your margins good, high. It'll allow you to allocate other resources in other areas versus spending hours and months calculating CAMs and things like that. So my outlook is strong to quite strong, especially for software.
Well, what we've seen certainly is that there's a greater level of integration between the building itself and the tenants in the building and the vendors that are providing services. So we expect that to continue, so that managers are basically seeing the ability to drill down into the information no matter where it is and no matter where they are. And we definitely think that that's going to continue.
It's a tough market out there, so I think that anything that companies can do to become competitive and have different advantages, especially the smaller type companies who are trying to compete against some of the bigger ones, the kinds of things that they can do to make themselves look bigger, to make themselves be more responsive to prospects is going to really be a difference. So they have to find ways to differentiate themselves.
Technology has helped so many other industries. It's just a matter of getting the awareness, and I think technology has to get easier to drive the acceptance first, and I think it can transform the industry.
Well, every year we see more and more where people need to have technology play a more important role, and that's because of the cost of doing business with energy rising so rapidly, and we never see it getting back to where it was 10 years ago. People are still battling, figuring out how to reduce their costs, and the technology allows them to do that.
LEED certification and our efforts have for a long time been focused around new construction. And for the past 5 years, we've been really switching that over to how do we operate our buildings? How do you take a hotel like this one, take a commercial office building in downtown Chicago here, and operate it more efficiently? And from all those perspectives, from indoor environmental quality to energy efficiency. And that's a big focus now for us, it has been, but for the market will be too. Rather than building a new project that has a very attractive return, real estate companies are looking internal, looking to tighten their belts and reduce operating costs. And one of the best ways to do that is look at their utility use, their cost of doing business from a green perspective, and we're seeing that actually align with our efforts very well.
Real estate is a step behind the rest of the world. The buildings have finally gotten to the point where they can start talking to us and telling us what's going on. And as they get better and better at talking to us, it has a greater impact on how we run those buildings. So we have to look at what a building's doing, use that information and apply it. When we do that, we can automate the process of making buildings better, engage people in it, and create a social networking that says everybody has a part, from a tenant to the person operating the building, to the person who owns the building, to the utility that supplies it, and making that building more energy efficient, making that building run better, and making it perform optimally for each person within that chain.
Well, let me go on record saying I'm not naive. I know how bad it is and how bad it's going to get. Okay, as far as the commercial real estate market and getting the debt and equity cleaned up after the last 5, 10, 15 years of craziness. We can't stop that. We have nothing to do with that. We're going to have to let that cycle through. But for those owners and operators who've got that under control and understand that they're going to get stronger during this time, like some people say, never waste a good recession, they're going to use this downtime to totally retool how they operate, and when they come out of this, are going to be the strongest operators in the world. And so while we have to be realistic and understand the financial restraints right now going on, we also have to know that innovation is always what pulls us out of these cycles. So if you look at commercial real estate, the economy, it will be all those people who are forced into rethinking things in their garages, coming up with good ideas that are basically going to reshape the industry and get us out of this mess.